The following program is rated TV-17, containing bad language.
You got knocked the fuck out, man!
Sexual situations.
Like you're gonna take your pants off instead.
Nudity.
Sure.
And graphic depictions of nut-crunching dick kicks.
Oh, I just had to kick you in the diddly again.
Parental discretion is advised.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. Sunday night. We're ready to rock and roll. Well, a giant Marvel leak happened yesterday. The MCU's reveal of the new Doctor Doom has got everybody up in a stir. SHREK 5 teaser dropped. A lot of people unhappy with that, it seems like. We'll jump into that for a second. Let's see what's going on there. A new clip from Daredevil. Daredevil vs. Bullseye dropped, and it looks fucking awesome. We'll cover all that tonight on the Ronin Joe Show. Let's go! That's right. We are back here on the Ronin Joe Show Sunday. 10 p.m. Ready to rock and roll. I tell you, it's been a fucking horrible week. So it's good to just chill with you guys tonight and shoot shit, talk about some fun things. Hopefully tonight, I see people still joining us here in the chat. I appreciate you. Wherever you're at, please hit the like button, share the show out, let people know we're live. Come over to the YouTube channel, hit the like button, subscribe. Let's do it. Go and rate other people's live shows right now. If you're a mod, drop the link, tell them we're live, and come over here to the Ronin Joe Show. If you get in trouble, tell them it's okay. I said it's all right. It's the Ronin Joe Show. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? All right, lots of things to talk about tonight. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get to everything. It was a hell of a week. Dropping with a bunch of stuff on Saturday if you guys missed all that. Crazy stuff. Some exciting things if you're an MCU fan. We're going to check it out. By the way, I got a new chair. Here with the chair. You see this thing? It's really comfortable. I'm trying to see how it sits with the studio. Might be down a little bit too low. Might have to raise myself up. I don't know. We'll figure it out here. Say hi to chat real quick. I can't see it here in StreamYard, but you guys there in the chat can see here on the Steadfast was the first in the chat. Yes, you are number one, my friend. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you guys. We have member of the channel, Duck Bacon, in the house. Great to see you, brother. Thank you for coming tonight. I appreciate you here. Hail the Lord's in the house. What's going on, brother? Good to see you, man. Also got pizza. Looking good. Twisted Dreams within the house. West Borland is great. Prove me wrong. I will.
Subject notes. The extraction theory paper. Am I the only one who agree?
Jaunty Blakey is in the house. What is going on, man? Some fantastic artists I see pouring into the chat, as always. Jaunty is definitely one of them. Another one is right here. My man, YSA. Hey, Joe, how's it hanging? Good, man. Going good. Good. It's kind of nice to end this week out here with you guys after going through a lot, I'll just say. Thank you for being in the chat. Appreciate you guys. All right, let's get rolling here. Let's end this out here. All right, here we go. Ready to rock and roll. Let's get into some fun things. You guys know I like to start off the show a little bit lighthearted. You know, a few laughs. I don't know if we have any wrestling fans in the chat. You know, I used to be a big wrestling fan, obviously when I was a little kid back in the 80s, but in the 90s, man, I wanted to be a wrestler. You know, I tried working out, I did my best, worked out. I wanted to break into the industry. I even looked into buying a ring. Did you know that back in the 90s, you could actually go online, you could find people that made wrestling rings, and you could actually buy them. They were like thousands of dollars, but I was looking into it. I was set it up in my front yard. I was going to train myself, damn it. Yeah, it was going to happen. Never did happen, but I was into it. I liked it. It was fun. I don't know if you guys caught the, Elimination Chamber. Let me change the screen here. There we go. Elimination Chamber last night. I don't know if we have any wrestling fans, but I saw this clip on X this morning, and I thought this was hilarious. I was like, I got to play. We're going to start the show out with this because it's just too damn funny. It's just too damn funny not to play. So these are two reactions. If you guys don't know, spoilers, John Cena turned heel. Now they're trying to compare this to the 96 heel turn of Hulk Hogan. which it just isn't. I'm sorry. Hogan's heel turn changed the face of wrestling forever. John Cena, proverbial baby face for this entire time, has never been heel. And he finally turned heel last night. So a lot of people are blowing it up. They're like, yeah, it's craziness. Phantasmagorical is in the house. Look at that. I nailed that the very first time. Professional right here. How's it going? Good to see you. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yes, my friend. Yes, my friend. I wanted to be Stone Cold when I was kid. All right. While I was watching this, I saw this clip. We got to check this out because it is just too funny. These guys' reactions to the John Cena heel turn last night. Let's check it out. Let me know if you guys can hear this.
No! Oh. Oh no! 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 Wait! What? What?
This can't be real. I'm just like, yo, it's got to be. It's just, I love it though. Even if it's staged, I absolutely love the reaction. Love it.
Oh. Always has a plan.
I love these kind of reactions to all these, whether it's a trailer reaction or wrestling. You can find a ton of these people that do these wrestling live watches. Look at that dude. Look at that dude. You got this one guy in the right here is being like all like shocked. Just absolutely shocked at the heel turn of John Cena. I don't know if you guys have been watching the WWE on Netflix. I've been catching every once in a while. It's all right. Not too bad. I watched a little bit of this. I tuned out, though. Me and my daughter were watching Sonic 3 instead of this, which was fine. Watch this dude on the left, though. Look at that.
No!
Oh, there he goes.
Bleeding! Not again!
No. Do that again.
Not again! No! Oh, he's bleeding! Not again! No! No!
Okay. God. Okay. Lighthearted. Gotta start the show with something to make you laugh. That was definitely funny. I don't know who those guys are. I don't know if they just do it as a bit or not. That was pretty good. I got into it. Let's see what everyone was saying here. Please tell me you're talking about the movie theater collapse. There was a movie theater collapse. You mean, I have no idea what that is. You're going to have to fill me in on that just a little bit more. Look at this. Everybody's favorite Aussie in the house. Is that it? Was that what you say about Australians? The Aussies? Did I just insult you? I'm sorry if I did. We are in this world where I guess that's just the language of today. Michael Bancroft is in the channel. My man, my brother says, good day. Good day. Good day, my friend. Great to see you. In Washington. So there was an actual movie theater collapse in Washington. Movie theater collapse. Washington. Okay. During Captain America? Ooh, shit. That is crazy. No, I did not see that. Let me bring this up real quick. No, I don't want to buy a subscription to this stuff. All right. Video shows movie theater ceiling cave in during Captain America screening in Washington. All right, hopefully this is something. No, come on. Nobody cares. Past the ad. Two people were inside. Well, that's good, I guess. Wow. Injuries, that's good. That's all good news. I think we need the music there. Collapse is under investigation. Okay. Wow. That's crazy. Thank you for the update, though. That's hopefully, I'm glad nobody got hurt. Captain America brings the house down, and there's well, Yeah, if you want to do some marketing, I guess that could work. um, Funny part of the story is no one was even there watching. Yeah, that's I did see that there was only a couple people. So oh yeah, only two people. So that makes it good, right? I mean, not for Marvel. I mean, that definitely shows you what people think of that movie. Man, did that really drop off after a couple weeks, after a week? Remember everybody posting their like, flexing and beating their chest when it made like a decent amount of money, and everyone was like, "Oh, I thought this was supposed to be, a bust. I didn't think anybody was going to go watch this." Like, just wait to the second week. Usually when that stuff falls, wait to the second week. And that's exactly what happened. So there it is. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on where you're sitting on all that, I personally would love to see these movies come back and be good again. But you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. A couple other things I saw before we jump into some of the main topics here. So here we go. Let me pop this up. Couple I don't know if you call them disappointing things. This could be disappointing depending on who you are, but I saw this. All right, make sure I don't have anything open here. All right, no doxing. I always got to make sure my DMs are closed when I'm bringing up the X screens. I saw this post from my good friend, the Angry Badger. And so everyone was jumping for joy early in the week, and I didn't really pay attention to a lot of this stuff. I saw, all right, Kathleen Kennedy, she's retiring, she's moving on, everybody's excited, and then you drop the news that maybe she's not. And so from Angry Badger says, so what are we thinking now, gentlemen? It says Kathleen Kennedy. I guess this is a post from her. It says the truth is, and I want to just say loud and clear, I am not retiring. I guess I can't highlight that. I will never retire from movies. Well, that is what it is. I will die making movies. That is the first thing that's important to say. I am not retiring. Repeat it, I guess. What's happening at Lucasfilms is I have been talking quite some time with Bob and Alan about the eventual succession that might look like, what it might look like. We have an amazing bench of people here, and we have every intention of making an announcement months or a year down the road. See, this is the perpetual. Didn't we think that she was getting fired like 2 years ago? That was rumors going around that she was out the door, and then here she is. So here we go now with another retirement announcement, and now she's saying it could be a year down the road. We are in lockstep as to what that's going to be, and I am continuing. I'm producing Mandalorian movie right now, so they're not doing a Mandalorian season 4. It's just going to be a movie. I might have missed that. I guess I didn't know that. I'm also producing Sean Levy's movie, which is after that. So I'm continuing to stay at Lucasfilm and looking very thoughtfully with Bob and Alan as to who's stepping in. So that is all underway, and we have every right to make that announcement when we make it. So everybody that was hoping that Kathleen Kennedy is out, I would say that sucks. She looks like she's going to be around for a while. So it is what it is. After a while, does anyone really care? I mean, is anything going on with Star Wars universe right now exciting anybody? They had their one chance to fix things. The end of Mandalorian season 2 with the return of Luke Skywalker. One chance. They could have leaned into that. They could have gone that direction. A lot of rumors started flying around about what they were going to do. A Luke Skywalker series with Grogu, doing the deep fake stuff, a young Skywalker, all that kind of stuff. They could have gone that way. They could have gone that direction. And they could have actually saved face and saved the franchise at that moment because everybody was very excited. I remember in that moment, people all over the place. I made a stream about it with Sean. I mean, it was one of those nostalgic things that just it hit everybody. And we're like, this could be it. This could be it. And then Kathleen Kennedy came on like a wet blanket, put all that fire out real quick. Yeah, I believe it when you see it. Yeah, it's already dead. It's been dead. It's gone. It's dead and gone. All right. Let me jump into... Have you guys seen the SHREK teaser trailer that they dropped? Now, the first disappointing thing about this, although some might say they are more disappointed about some of the other things we're going to talk about here, the bigger disappointment thing I see is the date on this. Look at this. The 2026. that we have to wait. This is damn near 2 years away when you think about it. We are just in the beginning of 2025. This is December of 2026 as this movie is coming out. They dropped this teaser though that I was actually pretty excited about. Love the SHREK series. Probably 3 is the weakest in the franchise, but I love everyone. 1, 2 is my favorite. 4 is pretty good. 3 is so, but they all have their charm. They all have their fun pop culture, meta humor in it, which is I think what makes these movies good. So having a modern day movie coming out nowadays, I think will be really good. So I'm looking forward to it. And we got this teaser trailer, 27 seconds, and I'll let you judge and see why everyone's bitching.
Hey, Magic Mirror, who's the fairest of them all? Why, SHREK, of course.
Ew, Dad.
Oh,
Ooh, Mama like. Who's making this stuff?
Mamacita.
Whoa! SHREK 5, starring Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy,
There it
Cameron
is.
Diaz, and Zendaya.
Zendaya?
Only in theaters. Christmas
2026. See, now that was the really the disturbing thing that I didn't like. So, what the hell is that? All right, what the hell? Get back here. Okay, let's get to this. All right. So right away, everybody is really upset at the animation. Okay, we'll take a look at the animation here for a second. First off, I think it looks pretty damn good. It's not the same animation as the original movies, right? If you go back to SHREK 1, it was really good animation for the time. But every movie is improved, right? Technology is going to improve. You're just going to improve the animation. This is a slightly different animated style. Like, yeah, Donkey looks a little odd, right? Shrek's head shape changed. Fiona's face looks a little bit more human. And maybe that's what it is. They don't look as ogreish, as they used to. I don't know what animation house is doing this, but it kind of reminds me of like the Troll animation. Puss in Boots, and it came out. It might be something very similar. I got an article we're going to check out here in a second about why the animation might have changed, but I honestly don't see what the big fuss is. Things don't quite look the same. I get it. Does it look horrible? Not at all. Bancroft says that was the moment in the movie when the hero catches the hand of the falling person, but instead of dragging them back up to safety, they let go. Yeah, no, I agree. That was it, man. That was it. I guess the only thing worse than that is to be a Star Wars fan. Well, true. Yeah, the hair looks a lot more real. We got Sheldon Martin in the house. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. Captain America, yeah. More realistic stuff. It just is. So people have a problem with this because it doesn't look the same. And I get it. When you're taking animated movies, when you change up the animation, it is a little jarring to what you expect to see. I can see some differences right now. Shrek's head's a little different. Like the top of his head's it's more egg-shaped as it comes down. It's a little skinnier at the top. His nose is a little bit different. The facial features are slightly tweaked. Fiona looks extremely different. Like, I don't know if they're trying to look a little bit more like the actors that are playing the characters in this time around, because maybe they have the technology to do that. I don't know. So I get some people's complaints, but to be honest with you, the fuss is hating be paying. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I feel you on that. I'll take any movie as long as it's not a 2-hour lecture. Yeah, I think that's most of what this is. As long as this isn't, if they could stay out of the politics, which I don't think SHREK has really ever gone into like politics or socio-economical stuff. They've really kind of just leaned into the humor of the day and worked that into the movies, which I think is great. If SHREK 5 is the same way, I think it's going to be a really funny movie. Mike Myers, like all these people in the real world that have their political stances and stuff is neither here nor there to me, to be honest with you. If you keep this a fun movie where you are just leaning into the comedy, giving the normal audience, the audience that are coming back what they want, then I think it's going to be a movie will do good. I think it will do good. I saw this article from Collider that says, you shouldn't be surprised or confused that SHREK 5 looks so different. After 14 years of waiting, DreamWorks is returning to the seminal and most beloved franchise, SHREK. The series has come quite a long way over the years, initially adapted from a niche child's book and changing most of the details. From there, it blossomed into one of the most successful animated franchises of all time, spawning 4 sequels, a Christmas special, and even a Broadway musical. I also think they did like Halloween special or something around. I swear I've seen something that was a Halloween as well. They've done quite a bit with this franchise. Shrek has certainly had a happily ever after. Now, everyone's favorite ogre is set to return to the big screen with Shrek 5, something I've actually been wanting for a long time. So this is one of the reasons why I'm not bitching about this. I'm actually quite happy about this. While there's plenty to be excited about, such as a returning cast of Mike Myers, Cameron Diaz, Eddie Murphy, as well as the additions of Zendaya as Shrek's teenage daughter or teen daughter, Dreamer's recent trailer has raised quite a few eyebrows due to the jarring change in animation. And with these criticisms, and while these criticisms aren't necessarily unwarranted, the shift in design is actually far more nuanced than fans realize. So this kind of goes on to talk about just like how every film in the Shrek series has bettered their animation from film to film. And if you watch it, it absolutely has. You know, if you go watch Shrek 1, it's definitely in dated animation in the 90s. It's still good for its time, but you can see where Shrek 1 to Shrek 2, they improve certain things like lighting, texture, all that kind of stuff to 3 to 4. If you look at 4 being the most recent in the franchise, 4 looks phenomenal. The lighting, the skin texture, the movement of the characters is absolutely well. Really, really well. And the reason why they do that, and they talk about the Hidden Dragon, what's this? How to Train Your Dragon. Never really watched those movies. Let's see. As stated by the direct, the film was used to debut Moonray, a groundbreaking new technology that the studio adopted. While movies like Shrek always involve stunning techniques, Moonray allows for animators to more precisely control a film's elements. It gives artists greater control over lighting, textures, and allows for all-rounded improvement to the technique. DreamWorks has continued to use Moonray ever since creating films such as the acclaimed 2024 hit Wild Robot, which I haven't seen. It looks good. I just had it. It looks good as far as the animation goes. I haven't watched it because I don't know. It doesn't seem as appealing. My daughter doesn't really seem to like watching. That's the only reason why I watch a lot of the kids' stuff anyway, is if my daughter likes it, we're checking it out. Of course, that doesn't make the shakeup of Shrek's animation style any less jarring. However, the series has already had a long history of animation evolution, and they kind of go into what I just talked about and then just fill you in a little bit on all this. The introduction of Puss in Boots, Antonio Banderas, is another prime example, as the character is often cited as one of DreamWorks' crown achievements. He is far more fluid and believable than many of the first picture's animal characters. With his movements, a beautiful and exaggerated representation of slick cat movements. Even the Puss in Boots spin-off series adapted new techniques once the film entered development. In fact, the feline-focused offshoot actually serves as the perfect segue into the new chapter of Shrek. Not only did it lay the groundwork for the new look of the film, but it also showed that the Shrek world can easily adapt to a new look and updated technology. While Shrek the Third and Shrek Forever After received far more mixed reviews than their predecessors, both the films also brought about visual changes that are actually rather obvious when compared to the original two. This is a pretty obvious article. Like I feel like it was an article that didn't really need to be written, because I feel like if you have eyes, you can see the changes that were made. But I thought it was interesting that the Moonray technology that they're using, and this is the thing. If you watched the Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, which was actually a really good movie, I feel like this is the animation they're going with. Now, that was a little bit more, had some anime stuff in it. If you watched it, I actually thought it was really good. It was a really, really good movie. But this is the direction they're going. That's fine. You know, it's not the same animation, but I think we'll all get over it. It's not that big of a deal. But I see people bitching about, people bitch to bitch for the most part. Like Bancroft was saying, people, you make money bitching online, right? You get these super chats. You get all the people who want to come in and just shit on things because they're unhappy about something. They want to have somebody bitch for them so they can sit there and be like, yeah, that's right. You go, girl, and all that kind of weird stuff. Now, I saw somebody online talking about like, well, I thought Shrek only had boys in the last movie. So he's got a transgender daughter now. And that's not true. He had a daughter, So it's just these wild things. People just have to bitch. I don't get it. I think the movie looks fine. How to Train Your Dragon was a near perfect trilogy, well worth watching. All right. Well, I might check that out. I gotta get my daughter into wanting to watch it first and foremost, because she owns the TV right now. Like, I get the TV during football season, And if like when Daredevil comes out, I'll obviously be watching that and stuff like that. But I have to convince her to want to watch it. And if I do, and if she does, then I will check it out. But I will take that into advisement, man. Definitely. Wow, Robot was great. Okay. That's another one I might check out. It's on streaming. I've seen it. I just haven't clicked on it to watch it. Black Spiders is in the house. Says I love Shrek. So does my son. Yeah, dude, I liked it from the moment it came out in the 90s. I'm a big fan of Mike Myers as far as his comedy goes. And I thought that movie was just that number. The first Shrek movie is still, to me, one of the funnier movies I'd seen in a long time because of its ability to grab onto the modern day pop culture and bring those jokes into the movie. So when they joked about something, you knew exactly what he did that with the Austin Powers series too. And that was another thing that the reason why Austin Powers was so good, at least 1 and 2 were so good, was because of that reason, So Shrek came out, was great. Shrek 2 is my favorite in the series. I think just everything they did in Shrek 2 was just perfect. Comedy, the story, the animation, all great. Love those movies. Who is the father of Moana's daughter? That's a great question. That is a really good. Did they ever establish that? Interesting. I gotta go watch that movie again. I gotta go watch Moana 2 to figure that out. Wait, was that her daughter? Or was it a little sister? I don't know. Statistical Zeros in the house. What's going on, buddy? Hope all is well. What you have to do is look at a scene of How to Train Your Dragon as she comes in the room, then turn it off and try to hide it. She will take the bait. Okay. I'll try that. I've tried a couple times. Now, she did see the live action preview when we went and saw Wicked, when we took her to see Wicked, and they had the preview for the live action How to Train Your Dragon. She did think that looked pretty good. So maybe I can use that as a segue and we'll work in and watch the animated movies before we go see the live action. My daughter made us see Into the Woods, the things we do for our kids. 100%, man. I've listened to music I never thought I'd listen to. I've watched movies I never thought I'd watch. And a lot of times I find myself enjoying them because my daughter's enjoying them, and stuff that I might never have given a chance. I'm just like, this is actually pretty good. Why? Because I see my daughter sitting there enjoying it, and I see her little pretty face and just the enjoyment she gets out of that child imagination, that innocence. And I'm just like, okay, I can get into this. This is pretty cool. Okay, that's what I thought. It's Moana's sister. That's what I thought. Yeah. Okay. Threw me for a loop there. Sister. Yeah. Okay. What are we jumping into here? Just want to double check before we jumped into the big story. All right, let's do the Daredevil clip. Have you guys been following Daredevil Born Again? They've been releasing a lot of stuff as we get closer and closer to the release here. Only 2 days away. There was a clip that they put out that I'm hoping you guys saw, because it was absolutely very, very cool. Very fun to see, and got me really jacked up, ready to see the show that's coming out. So we got Daredevil Born Again. And by the way, I love this, right? So we're not getting this look, unfortunately, at least not right away for Bullseye. And this is what I was hoping we were going to get. And I covered last week. We had the teaser where he's kind of more just ninja kind of look, Doesn't have the bullseye, doesn't have the iconic white to the contrast of his black costume. So that was kind of disappointing. But I say that, and then they drop this on us. So let's check this out. Together. If you guys remember the Netflix series, remember the sequences and the violence? Oh, yeah. People said that this couldn't be as good as the Netflix series. I think, and they might be true on that, but I think stuff like this is proving them wrong, that this could be very equal, a good predecessor, is that the word? To the Netflix series. I'm really interested to see when this fight is going to take place in the series. Look, love that back. Look at the background. This is great. I'm so excited. I'm so jacked up for this show. Yes. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I want to back this up just a second. Right there. Look at how he just comes in like that. And he's using his, I don't know what those are called. He didn't do that in the Daredevil series, right? In the Netflix series. And correct me if I'm wrong in there, because it's been a second. I haven't gone back and watched them again, because I kind of want to let this series have its own kind of feel to it without me judging too harshly against the Netflix series. So I haven't gone back and watched all 3 seasons again. I'm just kind of going off of memory. And it has been a while since I've seen it. But I don't remember them utilizing Daredevil's, what do you even call those? You know, his freaking nunchuck things, you know, where he, in the comic, he uses them to fly around, or to go around the city, kind of like the bat, you know, the bat, what the fuck is all this stuff called? You guys know what I'm talking about as I'm stuttering over all this stuff. We get to see it for the first time. We saw it, if you guys saw the She-Hulk horrible show, but the time he was in it, they kind of had a more comic book cartoony like, where he's utilizing his tools. And this is we didn't see this kind of movement in the Netflix series. Just watch how he comes in here in the background. Look at that. Like, to me, it's just subtle stuff like that. The first of all, the background in here is great. Like, it gives just a sense. Like, that city is just, man, it's dark, it's dirty. It gives you that kind of like Frank Miller feel, and just the way he comes in here. There's also some gifts that they put out. Oh yeah. Load. There's some gifts they put out of him just absolutely beating the shit out of Bullseye on top of this roof here. All right. Of course you're not going to play. Why would you? All right, well, whatever. I think that looks awesome. I think it looks absolutely cool. I'm so stoked. March 4th, Daredevil Born Again is going to drop. And I really, really, really hope that they do not mess this up. I'm going to be very, very disappointed if they push too politically, you know what I'm saying, with some of the stuff. There's some things I heard before the series came out that made me worry just a little bit. But I feel like they've done enough reshooting. I feel like they've corrected a lot of things. I think this thing is going to be good. I'm excited about it. Clips like this make me even more excited because the choreography was good. It was a fun fight scene. Yeah, it wasn't comparable to some of the fight scenes in the Netflix series where he's fighting like multiple opponents. But there was just the thing that they captured about the Daredevil Netflix series I really liked is the realistic aspect to the fight scenes, right? Where you can see these two guys. It looks like a realistic fight. They're tired. You know, it's not like they're just going at it all. They fight, they get tired, they get worn down. Daredevil's worn down, Bullseye's worn down. You know, there's a toll of attrition that is setting in with these characters, and I absolutely love it. I did hear that Daredevil will not be in uniform till halfway through this. What? I hope that's not true. Now, I know apparently he retired from being Daredevil or something in the story. He's focusing more on the law stuff, right? So I guess that might be true, where they're going to take a second for him to get back into costume. I still think you're going to see some action between Matt Murdock and, you know, halfway through the series, though. I don't know if I like that. I hope that's not the case. Edwin's in the house. What's going on, brother? A lot of seizures will be induced in that scene. Yeah, I hope not. I hope not, man. Christopher Bouchard's in the house. What up, brother? Thank you for being here today. Appreciate you. That looks cool. It does. So far, everything they put out looks great. The trailer looked awesome. The interview or the interactions between Fisk and Matt Murdock look great. The fight scenes that they put out there, I think, look fantastic. I think the show is going to be good, and I think Marvel needs a hit because we're going to talk about the leaks here in a second and why I don't think those were actually leaks. And I've tried to stay away from some of the stuff people have talked about, except for the things I looked at yesterday. And I got a video to go over I want to watch because they explain it a lot better than I do because they know a little bit more of the history of Secret Wars and stuff. But I think this is going to be good because Marvel needs it, right? The focus needs to be on Daredevil, and this needs to kind of spark the excitement of Marvel going into things like Fantastic Four, things like Doomsday, and all the other stuff that they're planning to do for like the next 8 or so years, which if they do right, I think it'd be awesome. And judging on the leaks that they put out there, I think it'd be really cool as well. So keeping our fingers crossed on that. On Netflix, they call it his baton. Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's what I can never remember what they're called. I'm just like, it sticks with the fucking, chords and stuff. Jamie East is in the house. What's going on? Good to see you. It's going to start really slow. I don't mind a slow start. I don't mind like a slow, like a slow burn. Get us back into the world. Show us where the characters are at, what everyone's doing. How's Fisk? Is he already the mayor? How's that? How's the city being affected with him being mayor? What's Matt Murdock up to? All that kind of stuff. I don't mind if it starts slow and you're bringing us slowly into the story and letting it build and build and build and build. That's fine. That's fine. I'm down with that. Because it took so long for him in the Daredevil Netflix series for him to get the actual costume. It was like the second to last episode, I think he actually got in costume. Otherwise, he wore the black costume. It was still a fantastic season, but they don't need to repeat that. They don't need to do that again. They did that once, have some time for us to get reintroduced to the characters, and then let's jump into what we all want to see and what we've been waiting for the last 10 years. And that's seeing Daredevil kicking ass again, not in She-Hulk, not in Echo, but in his own, And also, don't wait too long before you bring Frank Castle into it either. Daredevil fight scene kind of looks like a fight scene from Old Boy. I gotta watch that movie again. It's been a while. I'm sure they take inspiration for all these things. So, hit it. Oh, I'm gonna hit something. Speaking of hit it, if you guys haven't yet, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel wherever you might be watching. If you're watching this live, you're watching this later. This is the Ronin Joe Show, a show where we talk about pop culture. I mean, I keep talking about conspiracies and stuff. There might be something I cover here at the tail end of the show. Just to throw in, I want to wet the whistles. I just want to, like I said before last week, I want to ease in the conspiracy stuff. Ease it in like a gentleman, before we start really diving into things. We got John K here, says Australia here. What's going on, brother? Appreciate you guys from Australia. And I appreciate everybody that backed Reaper Destroyer from Australia as well. I'm sorry it's taken me so long to get the books to Australia. It is quite a hassle, but they will be getting there. So I appreciate the support. I know John is a backer as well. Black Spider says, I'm wondering if Karen will be a porn star and junkie. From the depictions I've seen her, I don't think so. At least maybe not to start with. She seems fairly well put together of the stuff that they've released. It doesn't seem like they're going that angle with her character at all. If he adds water to the city infrastructure, he's already a hero. I like it. Me saying hit it reminded you. Yeah, you got that. Joe didn't become a conspiracy theorist. Next thing you know, the earth is flat. Joe, don't become a conspiracy theorist. Next thing you know, the earth is... First of all, I've been a conspiracy theorist since 2011. It's been a while. I just don't talk about it a lot because this show is basically centered around comic book talk, or at least the channel is primarily comic book and art talk more than anything. But this show is everything I want to talk about that I don't get a chance to talk about. So yeah, we'll do some conspiracy stuff. There's some fun things to talk about. Like I said last week, I like to talk about anything that makes you think. The what ifs, could be's, whether it's true or not. I dig it. And the earth is flat. What up down under? What's going on, everybody? Skinwalkers, please. Oh yeah, there you go. That's some good stuff. We're gonna get into some things. All right. I'm sure you guys saw that the leaks. Did I actually bring up that page? No, I might have dropped the ball on that. I might have opened up all the pages except for... Oh, no, I did. All right. I'm good. Do all this work to set things up pre-hand to make sure I got it all here for you guys. And then I doubt myself. And I'm just like, why? Why doubt yourself? Looking forward to the comic community. Thank you, brother. And thank you for supporting that. I can't wait for you guys to read it and tell me what you think. A lot of people are already getting it here in the States and been getting a lot of good feedback. So I can't wait to see what you guys think of it. Starting working on issue 2 here fairly soon. That's always funny to watch people argue back and forth about that stuff. Half the things about the conspiracy talk is just to watch people get angry that somebody thinks something other than they think. Hell, that's most of society today, right? Just look at the current X community that we're all part of. Did you see they landed on the moon? I saw that. I don't know if I necessarily believe it. And I got a video, actually. I got a video I saw. I'm going to pull that up at the end of the show about a guy explaining why we didn't go to the moon. And then it was just interesting that right after I saw that video, boom, apparently we landed on the moon. But Big Mike is actually a woman. Well, now that, my friends, that is another way to go. I was about today, everyone is arguing shit. I was about today. Say everyone is arguing about shit today. Every day. Every day. All right, I'm not going to go through this entire article, but I did want to show you this. I was thinking about should I show this or not, but I've seen so many other people doing it, so whatever. If they take the stream down, they take it down. Saturday, there was a major leak, which I don't think it was a leak, of storyboard artists for Doomsday and also Secret Wars, Vision Quest, I guess, as well. Fantastic Four. A lot of things got dropped, and we got our first look at the MCU Doctor Doom. Now, I know a lot of people wanting Doctor Doom in the MCU for a long time. I also thought that was the way to go. I'm surprised they haven't done it till now. And then a lot of people seem to be disappointed when it was Robert Downey Jr. Here's one of the things I think is a brilliant move. Why Robert Downey Jr. being Doctor Doom is a brilliant move. I was on a show a couple weeks back on MSK's show. It was a fun show. We got in a conversation about why is the MCU sinking right now, besides the obvious stuff, right? The DEI shit that they've been doing over the last pretty much since Endgame, starting kind of with Endgame, right? Even though Endgame was good. But what's been the bigger issue is they don't have the star power anymore like they did. RDJ carrying Marvel for a 10-year period or however long that was. He had the charisma, he had the star power. People loved his portrayal of Tony Stark. But besides that, they just loved him as an actor, just what he brought to the movie, right? It brought a certain sense of legitimacy to the series itself. Chris Evans coming in, doing his thing as well as Captain America. Very good portrayal of Captain America. Those two big personalities were able to carry that series. And then everybody else that came underneath it, who I don't think are top stars, like, Chris Hemsworth, some of the other guys, Mark Ruffalo. Those aren't guys that can carry the series. They're not number ones. And I made the analogy of like Walking Dead. When you got rid of Andrew Lincoln, Rick, and you wanted guys like what is his name that plays Daryl? Whatever his name is. He's not a number one guy. He's not the leading guy that's going to take on the series. And it showed, because once Rick was gone, once the main charismatic character, the actor, was gone, the series kind of suffered, because you had to rely on these guys. Who's going to step up? Who's going to be like that star of the show? And you had to kind of have multiple people carry that role. I just don't think it works like that. You need to have one guy that can carry the role. So bringing back RDJ, I think, is a brilliant move. And instead of bringing him back as Tony Stark, which we have already seen for 10 years, or however long it's been now since Iron Man 1 came out, bring him back as a completely different character, and you explain it however you want with the multiverse. I know people right now are kind of done with the multiverse. I get it, because it hasn't been done right. If they were to do it right, I think it would be a lot more fun. But they just, for some reason, they stubbed their toes. They tripped going into the whole multiverse aspect. But bringing in RDJ and making him the seminal character of Doctor Doom, right? That everyone's been looking to get into, I think is a brilliant move. One, because he's a great actor. Don't expect Doctor Doom to be Tony Stark. I think that's what a lot of people are thinking. I think they're thinking the RDJ is just going to come and do his Tony Stark impersonation as Doctor Doom. Don't expect that to be that way. RDJ can do a lot more acting than just the charismatic, playboy, fast talker, smooth talker that Tony Stark was. So expect him to come in and give a really good, darker performance as Doctor Doom. And I think him doing this is great, because now you've got that personality back that can hopefully carry the franchise for the next 8 years, because Doctor Doom's going to be around for Doomsday, obviously, Secret Wars, and whatever else they have him do in between that. And rumors are he's going to be around for some time after that as well. Time for me to head to sleep. Good night, Jones. Yeah, good night, brother. Hope all was well. Great to see you. Thank you for joining us tonight. I appreciate you. The one big problem I have with conspiracy theory talk is that it always jumps from people something plausible to something not related, but that is typically not as plausible / likely. No, it does. There's definitely errors in the conspiracy talk world. You have to be careful. You have to. We'll get to that. Marvel needs Doctor Doom. It's going to be Norman Reedus. Thank you, brother. That's what it is. Norman Reedus. Thank you. Annoying activist writers doesn't help MCU. No, it hurt. Yeah, and hopefully we're coming out of that. And these leaks get me really excited, and I'll tell you why in a second. I'm sorry. RDJ is looking old. Henry Cavill would be better. Casting wise, yeah, I completely agree. Like, I really wanted to see Henry Cavill as Doctor Doom because RDJ, he is getting old. What, he's 50, early 50s? Is that what he's at? And everybody in Hollywood now, or at least a lot of people are on that. What is that? I don't know. They're all looking skinny and they're looking sickly for whatever diet shit that they're doing, diet pills and whatnot. So he definitely doesn't look at. But again, he's going to be in this costume, right? And I'm even though it's RDJ, I don't think we're going to get a bunch of face shots. I think he's going to wear the mask, and I think he's going to wear the mask quite a bit, almost like Ryan Reynolds does with Deadpool, because I think he's going to embody the character. Because you kind of have to. You can't have Doom without the mask. I mean, you can, but people want to see Doom in costume in the mask. So I think you're going to see RDJ really leaning, and maybe he's just a voice in a lot of scenes. Maybe there's a different actor behind the character himself. We don't know yet. It could be something like that. I'm not sure, but I think this is going to be a lot better than people think it's going to be, because RDJ, I think, is going to be a completely different tone with his Doctor Doom than he was with Tony Stark. John Hamm would have been my choice. Yeah, he would have been all right. I'm reading Gunslinger, Radiant Black, Rogue Sun, and some awesome art comics. Just read Blood Ruth #1 by Rippaverse, and that book was great. Grim dark fantasy story. Nice. 60. Oh, she's even older than I thought. Okay, but still, a role like this, I think it'd be fine. I think it's going to work. I'm just saying, like, all the naysayers, everybody wants to automatically just I get it. Disney hasn't given us a lot of reason to be hopeful or to trust in what they're doing, which is also why I think we came about this leak on Saturday. And this is why I don't think this is a leak. I think you had this massive art dump by a conception artist from Marvel / Disney. You do not get this stuff. And I've seen a lot of people talk about it. You do not get these kind of leaks unless Marvel wants it to be leaked. And I think they want it to be leaked. Why? Because they need it, right? Captain America, Brave New World underperformed at the box office. That's just facts. You look at what it's brought in, what it costs to make it, promotion, all that kind of stuff. I don't even think it's cracked even yet with what it needed to be. There wasn't a lot of buzz about it. There was a lot of negative thoughts going into the movie. People weren't excited for it. It wasn't going to sell tickets in the first place, except for, you know, the first random people that you want to jump in right at the beginning, opening weekend or whatnot. They needed to generate some excitement. So what do? They pretend as a marketing ploy, right, to have this leak and make this big thing, because they know that everybody's going to grab onto this. All the big social media influencers, whatever they're called, are going to put this on their shows. The people that have the 60,000, 80,000 million viewer or subs are going to put this on their show, and they're going to talk about it, and they're going to show these things off, and they're going to generate the excitement. They're going to generate the buzz. So to me, if it's a marketing ploy, which I do believe it is, I think it's a really brilliant move by Disney to try to get some excitement to people that have been disenfranchised by what Marvel has done over the last 10 years and what they continue to do. You know, Brave New World was just like the same old, right? That's what a lot of people see out of it. It's just, it's the same old shit we've been seeing from Marvel for the last 10 years, ever since Endgame, or 8 years, 6, however long it's been. It's the same thing. There's nothing new, nothing exciting. It was just the blah, we flatlined. Marvel flatlined after Endgame, and they have not been able to pick up the pulse until now. And the reason why I say that is we're going to jump into some of this up. All right. So we saw that. This is actually, all right, there we go. All right. So this, and I didn't follow the 2015 Secret Wars, Jonathan Hickman run. which I guess this is what this is about. So I didn't read the comic, but I do remember seeing a lot of panels. I remember a lot of people have said it was a run that they really liked. As much as I don't like Jonathan Hickman, people seem to really have liked the storyline of the God Emperor Doom. And so what I think is going to happen is we're seeing stuff from Doomsday and from Secret Wars. And I think you're going to do something kind of similar to Thanos, where Thanos shows up in Infinity War, he wins essentially, and then changes the world. Endgame comes around. You have to fix the world that was changed. We're going to go into this where Doom is going to change the world. He's going to win in Doomsday, and he's going to recreate the world in this kind of Game of Thrones-esque kind of battle world / whatever is going on in the movie. And I think this is brilliant. This is brilliant because this is something new that Marvel hasn't done yet. And if you're going to have a long-running franchise that started in 2000, was it 2009? 2007 when Iron Man came out? Man, I can't remember. It's been so long. But if you haven't have something run from then till 2025, you've been doing the same thing. And you did it really well there for that first 10 years or whatever. And then you did it really poorly for the last how many ever years it's been. Try something new. This is bold, new direction that they needed to go. Let us see these movies in a completely different light than anything that you expect to go see when you go see a Marvel movie, where it's like you're there in New York, you're in you got the cosmic aspect of the Marvel universe. Give us something completely different. And this is completely different, something we haven't seen before. And I think it's going to resonate. I think it's going to be awesome to see these characters in this kind of environment that we haven't seen before. So having these leaks come out where everyone's like, oh, this artist is going to get fired, blah, blah, blah. How could Disney let this happen? They let it happen because they needed it to happen. They need us to get into this and have the excitement to look at this stuff and be like, oh man, you have an entire world of Hulks. Could be SHREK, could be Fiona. You have this entire world of Hulks, and although I'm not a fan of Mark Ruffalo's Hulk at all, or whatever Taliana actress that plays She-Hulk, and the original, if you watch She-Hulk, the original design for Scar was putrid. It was so bad. But seeing this, I think, is pretty cool because we keep hearing rumors of a World War Hulk. Now, I don't think we're going to get the World War Hulk plot line in the movie. I think they're going to use the title, and it's going to kind of be in this world, this battle world. Seeing something like this, I've heard other people speculate, makes me kind of think that you're going to have some kind of, the Hulks are peasants, and they're going to have to revolt, fight against Doctor Doom. You're going to have a reason to have a Hulk World War, but you're taking these series now, and you're really doing what the first 3 phases did, which were making movies for a purpose, for an ending purpose, right? We knew that we were building up to Infinity War. We knew that we were building up to Endgame. Although I think they had a couple different names on those movies when they first were starting to announce it. But we knew we were building up to Thanos, right? And we knew Thanos was going to win. It was going to be this big old thing. They've given this now again. They're copying the formula where we're working up to this. We know Doctor Doom's going to come in. We know he's going to win. He's going to recreate the world, the MCU, in this kind of battle world. We're gonna have the Secret Wars plot line from the 2015, I guess, fairly popular series, which I never read it, but people seem to be excited about it. And you're gonna have all these movies tying in, working to one big conclusion again. And I think that's what they needed to do. This stuff, I'm not so excited. Don't get me wrong. There's some things I'm still not excited about. Don't get me wrong. The Young Avengers, I haven't been excited from the get-go. I'm still not excited, even if you're gonna put Chris Pratt in there, and the Wong, I can't remember who plays that guy, as characters to kind of make it more interesting and bring something to that series. I don't think I'm going to like that regardless. These are just not characters I care about or want to follow, although I do have Dupe, which is interesting. Recasting of the Black Panther. We've been saying that from the get-go that they needed to do that instead of I get the whole honoring of God, I'm horrible with names tonight. Chet, who was Black Panther? You guys think way better than I do when I'm on the fly like this. Boseman, right? Chadwick Boseman. They wanted to honor him, and I get it, but they should have recast him. They should have honored him. They should have recast him at the same time, because it's the character of T'Challa, the Black Panther, is an important character to have in the MCU. You introduced him, and then you took him right out because the actor died. I get it. They're bringing him back, or at least it looks like they're bringing him back in some way or some form. We got Jamalama in the house. Hail Joe, hail the chat. Hail, brother. Good to see you, man. You got to go full Kirby with the Fantastic Four. Anything else will suck. I think they're not going full Kirby with Fantastic Four, but I think they're kind of going in that direction a little bit, right? Giving it that 60s aesthetic, which was primarily Kirby's run. So we'll see how that pans out. I'm still kind of iffy on that movie, but these leaks make me excited. If you're going for this overarching giant story where you're doing this, Dr. Doom wins, recreates the world, the characters are thrown into completely different situations that you've never seen them before, right? And you bring them back into a little bit more of a medieval time. Man, that's fun. That's cool. That's something we haven't seen before. And that's great. Kudos to Marvel. If they're going this bold in this direction, kudos that they go this way to do something brand new and say, like, hey, we're not doing the same old shit. And maybe they're getting tired of the DEI stuff. Maybe they're really pushing back on that and want to just get back into good, fun storytelling with these characters. And this seems amazing to the point where, like, where do you go after this? Like you said, if you do this and you do it right and it comes out and it's just fantastic, it generates the buzz that it did before with Thanos coming in and the Infinity Gauntlet kind of adaptation that they did. If you do this correctly with this and we get like the Game of Thrones kind of Marvel version of these characters, and I'm not saying it has to be Game of Thrones like violence or stuff like that, but just you're putting these characters in a medieval setting, with the emperor, and peasants and revolts and stuff. It's things that we haven't seen the characters in before, and I think it's great. I think it's brilliant. So I saw this, and for the first time, I was actually pretty excited. I was actually pretty excited that this was going to be something that was going to be pretty good. So I don't know what you guys think about that, or what you guys think about this in general. If you're excited, if you don't care, as far as like, is it the same old thing? You're not giving it the time of day because you're just done with it. If that's the case, I get it. That's fine. I'm not going to try to change minds, but I saw it and I was excited. And here's the thing. I want these movies to be good again, right? Because I love comic books. I love comic book movies. I want comic books and comic book movies to be good again. I'm going to hope that they still can be with, the changing landscape of the country and, obviously not to get political, but there has been a big pushback against the DEI stuff. The normal public doesn't want that, right? They want to get back to just the fun shit. We want to go to the theater. We don't want to get preached to. We want to go watch something entertaining, and you tune out for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, whatever, before we have to go back to the real world and all the fighting and all the bullshit. So give us fun stories, give us cool shit like this. So I think this is a plus. And it's got me way more excited for everything that they're doing. Now, supposedly, Spider-Man 4 and World War Hulk are supposed to be in between Doomsday and Secret Wars. I have no idea how they're going to do Spider-Man 4. Started hearing some rumors that maybe this is going to be tied in. It's going to be like an offshoot of the Secret Wars stuff. And it's going to be a kind of a battle world kind of movie, which I hope they don't do, because we just got back to Spider-Man kind of establishing himself as his own character in his own movie. He's always been sidekick, even in his own movies. Like, he's kind of becoming Spider-Man. That was the whole idea. He finally became Spider-Man in No Way Home, and I was hoping to have more of a traditional kind of Spider-Man story going forward. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with Spider-Man 4 when it comes to this stuff. Again, a lot of multiverse stuff that they could do, and the multiverse works if you do it well, which they just haven't. And that's why a lot of people are sick of it. They're tired of it because it's overdone in the comics. They kind of, they shit the bed when it came to the movie version of what the multiverse could be. So I'm giving it a chance, but I think this looks awesome. A lot of this stuff looks really good, and I'm excited, man. I'm straight up, just like Daredevil, I'm excited about the possibilities of what this could be. So Doomsday is like his Infinity War. Yes, it's from everything I'm hearing, and I'm not like I got sources or anything. It's just reading online, watching other people talk about it that know way more about this stuff than I do. Is that it's going to be like the Infinity War, Doomsday, Infinity War, Secret Wars to Endgame kind of thing, right? Doom's going to come in, very similar, going to win, beat everybody, recreate the world in his image, and then the characters are going to have to figure out who the hell they are, and then revolt against that, and then take out Doom. And I'm here for it. I think it's going to be awesome. I know the story from Rob at Comics Explained. Obviously, the movies will be a lot different. It's pretty cool. Yeah, Rob does a really good job of breaking down the actual storyline of the 2015 Secret Wars plot. And yeah, it's going to be quite a bit different, right? But if they are using that as the inspiration for this, which it definitely seems like they are with the visuals, the possibilities of what they could do are endless, and I think are pretty good if you really lean into it and do it correct. So I'm telling you, it could be fun. RDJ was 43 when Iron Man came out. He was no shit. Damn, I thought he was younger than that. Okay. Oh wait, though. Thank you. Oh wait. Shrek is gonna play Hulks on the Spectrum side. Wong is literally played by Benedict Wong. Is he really? His real name is Wong. Nice. If I ever play a character, I want my name to be, Big Dick Sonntag or something. I don't know, something like that. Nothing wrong with that. I like that. Like you, man, you're a funny man. You. Christopher Bouchard says Doctor Doom looks awesome. He does. All right, I don't care. Doctor Doom looks fantastic. And also, the fact that they're bringing in the God Emperor Doom, which I didn't think that they were going to do, has me even more excited. Because even though I didn't read that series, I just remember the visuals of the Doom in the all-white costume. I just thought it looked badass. So this could be good, guys. I'm just saying. If it's bad, I'll say it's bad. I'm always open for my opinion changing and all that kind of stuff. I'm never try to tie myself down to anything, right? Like, you present new ideas, truth or whatever, and I'll change my opinion. I got no problem with that. Wiley J Draws is in the house. Says I'll wait and see. I haven't watched a comic book movie since the last Avengers movie, but I agree. This sounds like it could be promising. Dude, I completely understand. I'm with you, Joe, but they really need to step it up quick. I'm 100% with you guys. Yeah. And that's why I think that this leak was done purposefully, because they need to generate the excitement, because they need to make a massive turn in fan favor, and they need to do it fast. They can't wait 5 years to get this thing corrected. They need to have a hit. They need to do it now. They have to start with Daredevil. Daredevil needs to hit. All right. This show needs to come out and needs to hit and needs to resonate. People need to get excited about that. And then that needs to lead into Fantastic Four. That has to hit. That has to do really well. You can't have any duds right now. You're in a very pivotal part of the history of are you going to sink or are you going to swim, Marvel? And that's what it is. Have you figured out what you've been doing wrong? And are you going to correct that going forward and start giving people what they want and bringing back the excitement and the buzz? Because if you guys remember, if you were around when that original buzz was happening, and it took a second, right? It took a second for those movies to kind of hit and get rolling. But when it did, you were talking about $1 billion movie after $1 billion movie, and people were just excited. It didn't matter what they put out there. Guardians of the Galaxy landed, it hit. Ant-Man landed, it hit. They shoehorned Captain Marvel in there, and that was the first mistake. That was the fart mistake. That was the first mistake that they made, was trying to get Captain Marvel to work and putting it right in between Infinity War and Endgame. Everybody thought it was going to be a tie-in, and it wasn't. You got duped into going to see a movie that nobody gave a shit about. But back when it was hitting, Civil War, fantastic. I remember when that movie came out, people were leaving the theaters like that was the best movie I've seen ever. And it was such a great movie. They need to get back to that, and they need to do it quick. And I think this is the way to do it. And if they do it right, I think we may just get Marvel back to having fun movies that we can anticipate watching and being excited about, instead of just being like, same old bullshit. God Emperor Doom. Well, God Doom it. I like it. It's Doom or die, can you say? I can say. I got the rest of the Medieval Spawn Kickstarter figures yesterday. So did I. Yes, I got my package of the 3 that came in. Probably do an unboxing at some point. I don't know if it'll be a live or pre-recorded, but I'll get into that. But I haven't opened it up yet, because I want to wait till I can actually record it and have the time to do it. John Malama says Daredevil trailer looked good. They scrapped the original plan for the win. We shall see. I hope so, and that's what I've heard too. And that's why I'm really anticipating it. Again, that has to hit. It can't falter. It can't have any kind of like there's going to be negative buzz, but it can't have a major drop off. It's got to land with the people. I'd rather be happy about seeing good MCU movies than looking forward to hating. Yeah, me too. And that's the thing, right? Like, we can sit here all day long and hate on stuff all we want, and they've given us reason to do so. But that gets old, right? Because then we're just constantly disappointed, and then we get disenfranchised, and we just don't care. That's not a win for anybody. I want to look forward to the next comic book movies. I want to see these characters coming to life, and be excited that, they're making this movie, or like they can announce that they're making a Ghost Rider movie or whatever. And I can be excited about it again because I know that it's going to be a quality movie. So let's get back to that. After Endgame, they should have established the Marvel Knights and street level characters, in my opinion. They could have done that. That would have been a way to go. I think I remember original plan that they were going to do more of a street level earthbound movies, and then they were going to do a cosmic MCU, and that's what they originally planned to do, and they never did that for some reason. But it seemed like it would have been a good idea. You have a set of movies focused cosmic wise, a set of movies focused more earthbound street level stuff, and I think that would have been really good. Some reason something happened where they decided to go all crazy, and everything that they've done has really been bad. The TV series has been bad. The movies have not lived up to what they should be. When you're carrying the Marvel brand, when you set the bar so high as $1 billion, $1, $2, $3 billion movies, and then you completely fall off the face of the earth with a bunch of junk, it's gonna resonate, and it has. So we will see. We'll see. I'm very hopeful. Very hopeful. All right, that was that. Kicked myself for some reason. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Engage in the conversation, because I love talking about this stuff. I really want to know what you guys think about if you're watching this live or if you're watching this later. Comment below. One, it helps the algorithm, helps the show as well with more comments after the show is done. All right, we're going to close up the show here because Gooch and Friends are going to start here in a couple of minutes. Conspiracy talk. I said I was going to bring this in, and we're going to test you all out. We're going to test out the people that are still here with us. Everyone last week that was saying, let's talk about conspiracies. I'm going to do it. We're going to test you guys and see if you're ready to handle some thinking that might be outside the box. And we are going to talk about the moon landing. Did we ever land on the moon? That is the question. Now, I did see that apparently we just landed on the moon. Whether you believe that or not, that's up for you to decide. We are going to check out this real quick, though. I'm not doxing anybody. We're going to end on some very fun conspiracy talk here. This video I saw, 2 minute and 48 second video of a guy explaining why we never went to the moon. Let's watch and you decide.
So you'll see in sunlight, shadows always run parallel and never intersect. Here's a picture which the federal government claims was taken on the moon.
Claims.
The astronaut shadow runs at 12 o'clock, and this rock, only about 5 feet away, the shadow runs at 9 o'clock. This is a 90-degree difference from objects 5 feet apart from one another. This proves that this was taken on Earth with an electrical light inside of a television studio.
Movie lighting.
This is all the proof that you need.
Stanley Kubrick.
That the moon landings were fake. If Toyota said that they made a car 50 years ago that could go 50,000 miles on a gallon of gasoline, and yet today their best car could only go 50 miles per gallon, or 1,000th the distance, wouldn't the fraud of the previous claim be obvious? And yet this is exactly the moon landing fraud, and yet people don't see it because of their emotional attachment to it. They're claiming they...
One thing about the conspiracy theories I think is really funny, that line, right, they said there with the emotional attachment to it is 100% true, because nobody likes to believe that what they believe could be wrong, right? As one thing as I get older, I've tried to do is keep a more open mind to things and more discernment, to not be so dogmatically stuck into something I think is correct, and not having any kind of opening chance that what I believe could be wrong, and not have those emotional attachments so that I don't all of a sudden react in anger. And when you see stuff like this, the reason why I picked this, I think it's fun, even stuff like the flat earth, right? You notice right off the bat, there's certain people that get triggered by some of these things. To just the word, just saying something, they get triggered so fast and they just want to react with anger. instead of just listening, being like, okay, it could be complete bullshit. This could be complete bullshit and never believe it in a million years. But you know what? I'm at least going to listen because it's interesting, because this person seems to think it's true. Why do they think it's true? Instead, people seem to react mostly out of emotion.
It went 1,000 times farther 50 years ago than they can go today with 50-year-older technology. That doesn't make any sense. It's the
No
only
sense.
time in history that a technological achievement like the automobile or the airplane or nuclear power, that no nation on earth could repeat it 50 years later.
No, it's a
Well,
fact.
in fact, it should be 100 times greater 50 years later. If they could go to the moon with 1960s technology, men would be in another solar system by now. Men would have walked on Mars 10 years later.
One of the arguments that people have for this, and again, wherever you sit with this is fine. It doesn't matter. To me personally, but wherever you sit with this, you have to admit that if you actually listen to a lot of these people talk with an open mind to try to understand what it is that they are saying and how they've come to the conclusion, and what this guy has just presented there, it's an interesting thought, right? We live in a technological world, advancing ever faster every year, every decade since I was a teenager. And technology only gets better and better and better. So isn't it odd that when it comes to space travel, when we start sending people up to space, that we've almost kind of gone backwards as far as like, yeah, don't you think we should be, with the way technology is and how it's progressed over the years with everything else, don't you think we should be past the moon, to Mars, farther out, colonies by now from where we started? And we're not. Like that's a really good, it's regardless of whatever you believe, it's an interesting thing to sit back and think about. That's true. Why have we not gone farther with our technology when everything else around us is advancing so fast?
40 years ago, which never happened. And there would be bases on the moon there today, of which there are none. It's the only time in the history of the world that technology that cost $175 billion was deliberately destroyed afterwards.
Russia and China would have called it out years ago if it was fake. No, because if we never landed on the moon, that means nobody ever landed on the moon. And you have other countries that have claimed to land on the moon as well. So they're not going to call themselves out just to call us out. So that's the thing you got to think about. If you believe that we never landed on the moon, that nobody has landed on the moon because nobody has made it through the radiation belt. That's pretty much what people talk about. That's kind of their point. So no other country is going to call out another country because every country has, or China. I mean, shit, China's landing on the moon all the time. It seems like. You ever seen the videos of them landing on the moon? You want to talk about, if you believe something is fake, go check out their videos, So, yeah, I don't agree with that, though.
Would Bill Gates spend $175 billion to make the first computer, and then when he was done, throw it and the schematics in the trash? But that's what NASA claims that they did. They only did that to destroy the evidence of the fraud, which is proof itself that they didn't go. Because if they really went, they would never destroy the technology. The B-52
that's a fact.
Was made 70 years ago and is still in service today in the United States Air Force because it worked so well. Now they want to return to the moon, and they're having to recreate all that equipment from scratch because they deliberately destroyed it in order to hide the evidence of the fraud. I say it's harder to believe that the moon landings are real than to believe that they were fake. And this one picture proves that it was taken inside of a television studio on Earth.
I like that. It's a short video, gets kind of straight to the point on a lot of that. Again, whatever. You believe whatever you want. Do you guys want some conspiracy talk? There's a big conspiracy right there, and I'm iffy on it. Because there's a lot of stuff there that makes me wonder, definitely with the radiation belt that we can't seem to get through today. The astronauts of back then never even knew about it. Apparently, never even knew about it, passed through it just fine, unless it just popped up all of a sudden after they were doing their adventures up there and came back down, and now they can't. Lost technology, destroyed technology. It doesn't really make sense. Why have we not advanced in technology since then? I remember when we were kids, or when I was a kid. You know, we're talking about early 90s here. My dad used to get a magazine called Reader's Digest. And they always used to have these really interesting articles, these futuristic articles, right? Of like, where are we going to be in 20, 30 years, right? And I remember reading an article and getting all excited because at 10, 8, 9, something like that, I'm reading an article about how we're going to have flying vehicles, right? In the 2000s, whatever, you know. And we aren't even close. Well, maybe now. There's some things I've seen out there where we were possibly closer to doing that technology, but we were supposed to be way advanced in technology than we are now, right? And we haven't even reached that yet. We haven't even got to that point. We've been stuck with certain technologies where other technologies are just booming. You got to question yourself why, right? When it comes to the moon stuff, why are we not adventuring farther into space if we can? Why are we not creating colonies on the moon and, you know, databases on there and all that stuff? Why are we not doing that? It seems like if Kennedy stood up there, right, and talking about how we want to go to the moon and do all this stuff, where is there else to explore? Yeah, the ocean. That's another thing. Another thing we can get into talking about why we don't really explore the ocean, and we don't know a lot about our own ocean for the most part. But what I like about Elon Musk is he really wants to try to get out there. Regardless if it happens, I don't know. But you want to get to the moon, you want to get to Mars. Fuck, I grew up watching Star Trek and Star Wars. I thought we would be way more into that aspect of things than we are now, and we just haven't. It's an interesting thing. I don't understand it. I'm not sure we landed on the moon. I'm not sure either. Now, I never like to speak in absolutes because I don't know. What I don't know is what I don't know, right? So I'm not just, if I don't have absolute evidence of something, I can't really make that definitive statement. But I will say that I don't think there's some nerds out there going to get mad at me. I don't think that we actually have gone to the moon. There's a lot of reasons why that we can jump into. I think strictly looking at it through the lens of tech advancement is a serious mistake. No, I get you on that. I get you on that, but it raises a question to think about, right? That the money being poured into technology, one of the most important things we could do, human beings, we're explorers by nature, right? Whether it's the oceans, whether it's land, we explore. And we haven't even cracked space yet as explorers, as natural explorers. And you just got to kind of wonder, why is that? When supposedly we were on the cusp in the 60s of doing that. And here we are in 2025, and we really haven't done a damn thing since then. It's kind of odd. Internet says no other country claimed a moon landing other than the United States. Well, the internet lies. I see videos all the time from China of landing on the moon. I'm not going to look one up now because we're running a little late, but I've seen them. The aliens told our world leaders something. Hey, you want to dive into some stuff, yeah, what do we meet out there? I've heard some things, I've heard some good conspiracies about if you did go to the moon, what they actually discovered on the moon. Who did they meet on the moon? So again, this is a fun shit to talk about. I love talking about all this. I'm not married to anything when it comes to conversations or dogma or stuff like that. So I like ideas. Again, as a creator, comic book creator, writer, this is just fun shit to talk about, man. So yeah, I mean, what if we did go to the moon? All right, let's talk about that for a second. What if we did go to the moon and you met the aliens on the moon, right? Changed everything. Maybe that's why we haven't gone back. Maybe we haven't established stuff there, Maybe we're getting our walking orders from the little gray men. U.S. and Russia do work together in space programs, seems like, no matter the political tension. That's a good point. Space stations and all that. All right, brother, thank you for joining us. The Gooch and Friends should be well on its way. So if you guys are in the chat, you're going to be sent right there here in 2 seconds when we end the show. Mysterious deaths and inventors is a rabbit hole to go down. Cancer cures, cars that run on water, etc. Yeah. I'll tell you what, like I said, I'm going to ease into conspiracy talk. Because going from the pop culture, the comic book stuff, and then it's kind of a jump going into conspiracy stuff. Some people might not like it. I've had a few people in the chat be all about it and want to go it. So I might save the end of the shows if there's something fun to talk about in the conspiracy realm. or the supernatural realm to definitely bring up. So, I mean, give me suggestions. Hit me up in the comments below if there's something you want to talk about. I'll look into it and we can go over it. I'll spend like the last 10 minutes of the show having like a little discussion about something. But yeah, I love talking about this stuff. It makes for fun conversation. For a while, I know they cared more about putting satellites up in orbit, and now there is a garbage belt. Yeah. Corporations took tech away from us. Airplanes were faster in the 80s. Oh, man, now we're talking. Whalers on the moon. Peace out, guys. All right, Twisted Dreams. Great to see you, brother. MHX 370. I don't know what that is. You have to explain that one to me. I don't think I've heard that. I don't think I've heard that one before. Shout out to the Core 20 that was in the house for the majority of the show. I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out as you always do here on the channel. Tomorrow night, we are not doing the Spawn review. I've got a friend of the family that is not doing well, and my wife is up at the hospital with them until things happen. So it's just me right now with my daughter. I could do tonight's stream because I could put her to sleep and she's sleeping and I come down here to stream. But tomorrow night's show, I don't have anybody to watch her. So we're probably not doing the Spawn review tomorrow night. But be back here Thursday at 8 p.m. for Ott and Stuff. We will be doing that with Sean. We're going to be looking at Hush, the next 3 issues in Hush as we get ready. Also, Daredevil is dropping on the 4th. I'm going to start doing reviews of that show, probably on Ott and Stuff as well. We might split the time between Hush and Daredevil reviews as we go, or we'll figure something out. But I'll keep you guys up to date on that as well. Did you explain? I'll post a comment and drop. Thank you. Yeah, definitely do that. Do it below after the show, and I'll look into it. I don't believe we can make a spaceship to fly solar system to solar system. We need to travel in wormholes. The only way to travel in space. Dude, yeah, no, I agree with you on that. I think that's a good discussion as well. Whatever Diabolical Souls. Yeah, if you guys are in the stream, this is going to go automatically to Diabolical Souls, the Gooch and Friends. When you get there, tell them it's a Ronin raid. Tell them I sent you. Give them a shout out. Let them know what's up. All right, guys, thank you for joining me. This has been a fun show as always. I love hanging out with you guys. We're going to get out of here. I will see you on Thursday night. So as always, everybody, be good to each other. Take care of one another. And as always, picture me naked. Talk to you later. Peace.
He should do his duty, and to impress him, takes on his multi-armed form and says, "Now I am become death, to destroy the world."